Hello and welcome on Sports Update on Trust TV. Adeni Gishafe. We quickly look at stories trending as we look at NFF to constitute the new board that will be at least looking to the affairs of football in the MPFL, NWF, and also not forgetting the fact that they'll be doing that alongside the like of NNL and also NLO. Looking at that particular story right now, well, we'll be starting with that alongside Busayo Olowookere. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here this evening.
And also Emmanuel Fashimi. Good to have you.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, let's run through this particular story. NFF to constitute MPFL, NWFL, NNL, and NLO board at least, let's say, in a month's time. That's where the story actually came out. And looking at the fact that we'll be having IMC running the affairs of MPFL and also even other leagues being run. But right now, the board will be set up in the next 1 month. From the way it is, how do you see this?
Well, it's a good one from the NFF. From my own perspective, I want to read the minds of the president, and whatever I say here, it's my opinion at the time, because I know that they want to make sure they do the right thing. When I said the right thing, along the line, someone said in the board that if it's for us to suffer for 6 months and look at the trajectory of where we are going to, then they are ready to take the pain. The 6 months is here already. They came in talking about September 30, and now the 6 months is April. So within the 6 months, they've been able to look at, okay, where's the vision? Where are we lacking? Where are we going through? What do we need to do? The IMC has been taken on. So far, the league has done well. They banished him 3 points, deduct 3 points, fines have come. And even teams that they felt, some people feel, oh, they won't go there. Remo Stars was taking Wiki 3, Bayelsa 3 points. It shows that these guys are saying, if you do nonsense, we'll take you down. And we want to promote our league to a league where there will be investments, where people will come and put their money and get returns for the value of the money they put in. The NWFL has not gotten a board since the end of last term, where they had the Super Six in Edo, but the league has also run a race. Wonderful league so far. Today is going to be the end of games across all centers. Now we should be seeing fillers of result later very soon. Now, I think for those teams that have qualified, the likes of Edo Queens, the likes of Confidence Queens, Delta Queens, Bayelsa Queens, and also Rivers Angels. So sad for our own Abuja Darling team, Niger Raptors. They had it all in their house to win games, but they lost one and drew one to Delta Queens, who remains unbeaten. So far, Delta Queens is taking on Rivers Angels in tonight's game, and it's a game they were already qualified. They want to win, maybe keep the unbeaten race. But looking at the board, that there's no board. Aisha Falode, to a stand for me, she has done well into the league, and now there's going to be a lot of calculations because we have 2 women for the first time in the board of the NWFL, in the board of the NFF rather.
Yes.
And looking at the 2 of them, the chairperson and the vice chairperson. And I was in the election in Benin. It was the election of the first, talking about the FA chairman from Benue State, Honorable Margaret Ichin. She came in first, and at the time, Aisha lost in her first election. In the first round of election, she was third. And all of a sudden, the lady who was third became the first. Well, I'm not going to the politics there. We all knew how everything went. But now, the question is, how will that board be chosen? They've always said it's going to go to a woman who is going to over there. In the NLL, that's a question for their own side. In the NLL, I would say for me, they just had a figurehead chairman who would never do anything for that system. He rather believed in himself, enjoying his money, and well, failure seems to come to the race of the NLL. They've done well managing it. Look at so many teams. Crises were happened over the weekend in Gateway, Smart City Gateway, some games already. But now they've also told them, smash them 3 points and get it up. But the NLO, Shola Gunawa, the CEO of the league, has done massively well with the chairman. They've tried get sponsors. I know in the 4 weeks to come, give me till May 31st, you will see the list of the constituted bodies of this thing, because from an insider, let something leave first before we take our decision. Let me cut it there.
Well, Busayo made your point, but let's hear from Emmanuel Fashimi concerning this particular board to be set up by that's NFF, concerning all the 5 leagues.
Now, if I actually want to take from what Busayo has said, if you look at it, 6 months, they've given themselves 6 months to actually look at the loopholes and everything that they need to correct. But setting up of the board, will they be fair in selecting those who will be on the board? Who are those who are? It's not by selecting the board. Let those persons be persons that know what football science is all about, what football business is all about. Don't just bring in people into the board and say because they were there for me during the election, they supported me during my election, let me compensate them. That is what happens in this climb. Once you support my political ambition, once I get there, I compensate you by giving you a position, whether you know anything about that sector, you are going to be, in fact, you are favored to get the chance. But right now, if the NFF president wants to go by what it is, he should get those who are trusted, those who want our football to go to the highest level, who wants our football to be the talk of the town. And then let people say, okay, I'm going to Nigeria to invest in football.
Yeah.
Then so that we can make, so it's not by bringing people into the board, at the end of 4 years, they'll just put money into their pocket and they go and sleep and eat whatever. No, it's not, setting up of the board is not bad, but who are those persons coming in? They should be the right persons. We shouldn't just be, it should not just be a jamboree. Don't just pack people together, oh yeah, go and head this place. At the end of the day, there's no result. So we need result. If we actually want to go further, we need result. Like he mentioned the NNL, where I think that place, we need, they said, we need a very drastic, when I mean drastic action, so that, and that is the place where teams come to the top tier league of the country. We get teams to come and play in the MPFL. You don't see the EPL, that is the English Premier League, playing with the championship. At some point when the championship, during the coronavirus, the EPL had, with some finances, they helped the championship, they helped some clubs. So that is the place they produce the best teams that comes to the league. So we should also, as in NFF, as a matter of urgency, should pay attention to the NNL.
Yes, to the NLL, like I said, if I mention names, I'm not afraid of anybody because it's good we say the truth. We can't have a chairman who is in the Senate doing, as a chairman, House Committee on Sports for going, because he has lost it all in coming back to the Senate. He didn't, for once, focus to the agenda set for him in the last board. And like he said, don't bring anybody for compensation rights. Don't bring anybody, don't appoint anybody because, he worked for me in the last when I was campaigning for the election. No. One man failed the NLL. And for me, when I saw him at the NFF on Monday, I was just asking myself, is this same man still relevant around football? Because I know he wants to do all in his power to win his his state FA chairman, who he has been there for 16 years or thereabouts, even before I got to that state, and no change has ever happened to the football of that state. So if that kind of person is not doing well in the state, as a chairman House Committee on Sports in the Senate for 8 years, you didn't do any viable program, for crying out loud, that person should not be part of our football in this new board. I don't care whoever is watching to tell him I said that, because it is a race. Our football must grow, our football must shine. We must get back to the glory days where we have people coming to bring money into our football. And for crying out loud, I trust Ibrahim Musa Gusau is a man of transparency, is a man that believes that this is the best time to correct the wrongs of our game. We need to get it right, this board. And if you look at it, that this board has people who are also runners of clubs in the NLL in the board, so they know how he's spending them. They know that they need to make money. Go to the NWFL, clubs are privately owned. Remo Stars are privately owned clubs. At the time, they want to have a private league, which the then board said no. And if it goes that way, they will make money for themselves. Some players, they don't need to even play the national team before they sell their players. From Remo Stars, you go to Inter Milan, for crying out loud, for 1.2 billion naira. He's making money, right? So now let the money also go back to the federation so that we can enjoy the goodies. The money should even have a trench down to the media, to everybody that brings a good tidings to our game. And for the NFF also saying that they will get ad on agents, on whoever that is not making our football grow. I think this is the right step that Gusau is taking, and his board is taking. And I say kudos must go to them. Just please hear the voice of us talking, that don't bring anybody who is not competent, who is not worthy enough, trustworthy enough to do our football a good. don't let him be part of the board.
We've been talking concerning Nigerian football there. Well, right now, Nigerian Football Federation are right now saying they want to consider a new board for all the leagues in Nigeria, but with also that they will get technocrats, people that really know the business, the onions of running football business in Nigeria. That will be better for us because we need to get it right. And really, NFF has been coming hard really on the issue of agency, the agents rather. They want to make sure things are done right in Nigerian football. Not forgetting the fact that they also mentioned the Super Eagles, players that are not committed enough, they will not be featured. We just wait to see if truly that will be coming up. But really, if you look at it, it can be very funny because how do you know a player that is not committed?
Adeni.
Yes, knowing a player that is committed. Now let's
after you have given him, you have called.
Let's look at
you've invited him.
The players we had in time past. Let's look at 90s, just downward a bit. Now, when they call players to camp, when did they resume? When they say come to camp, before you say Jack, you see more than, in fact, the camp will be, in space of 2 days, all players will be on ground. But right now, when you call our players, some of them will first of all give excuse. They will take 3 days. Some will come 2 days to the event. Maybe the last time they will have their training. Some will be coming. Some will say they have injury. Some will say they have club commitment. No. Let the right persons be called. We have players in Nigeria here. When you call them, there are boys who are ready to play. Not maybe because, fine, it's good for us to call the foreign players, but how ready are they to represent Nigeria?
That's the question I asked. How do you know
what
who is
their commitment?
Let me chip in something because me, I'm a present person around this all our national team, and just before the Nations Cup of the Under-20, a player just came to the Go Project. He didn't know who I was and said, my name is this old person. And I said, what club are you? He said, I played in Mallorca B in Spain. He was just speaking drama. I look at, okay. So I just, okay. I bought my phone, check. And I was like, is this guy's name is out there? Do you even really said, I spoke with the coach. I saw him on some days ago. He said I should come for training. And the head coach of the team was walking by my side and he could not recognize. And so this is the situation around agents who just lie to some players out there and says, come. I'm in charge of the day, oh, come and play. No, it should stop. I know some information that if I say here, maybe before I go downstairs, I'll have been seeing some. So please
don't say it.
No, because if you want to correct our football, thank God for the opportunities that we've seen outside. We've been there, and by the grace of God, the little one we've gone. There are things that needs to be done properly. Some agents are just making hell of the players because some of them don't even understand what they sign. So when they tell them, "Oh, Fashemi, you're a good player. I'm taking you to the national team," it tells you, Fashemi, your bonus is $1,000 per winning match, and okay, I'm collecting 500 because he wants to play. He just come to the camp and he sits down there. Whether he's training, and when the guy is dropped at the time, and the guy is telling him maybe he said, when I brought your player, have they not trained him? Has he not trained? With the national, he has trained. So if the coach says he's not worthy enough, so those are crises that comes with our national team that we need to take away. If you want to play for us, I've always said it. There are games that we can play our own base players if serious we are in our football.
Well, we've been talking concerning Nigerian football. It's a big and huge topic that if we have to continue to dig, we won't leave the studio. But really, we need to get it right. We just have to, need to get the right people, round peg, round hole for Nigerian football to get developed. Hopefully, it will happen, and we believe that we'll get there. Now, from Nigerian Football Federation story, let's go talk about boxing. It has been a big one when it comes to boxing because the heavyweight boxers of this world right now, the top four, they are really fighting hard to see how will they meet themselves. Well, it seems on the net, a lot of deal has been struck right now because the news that we're having is the fact that by December this year, it's possible that we could be seeing AJ facing Deontay Wilder over there in Saudi Arabia, and also you have Alexander Usyk also facing Tyson Fury if that will be happening, it's going to be one of the biggest, in fact, the biggest in the world of boxing. About $400 million has been slated for the four of them to do this particular fight that will happen over there in Saudi Arabia. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, and you have the man who is holding almost all the belts. That's Alexander Usyk, the Ukrainian, facing the World WC winner. They're talking about Tyson Fury. Well, if this actually comes up, that would be a very big fight. But now, the camp of Deontay Wilder say, well, the ball is in AJ's court. We've done ours. We are ready for this fight, and that's what we're looking at right now. Well, for me, I don't know. I just feel I'm afraid for AJ.
I'm not afraid for AJ because if you look at it, AJ is actually ready for this fight from my own point of view. Now, when this news filtered out, I think that was last week, that they are trying to do a four bout between the four of them, and that was why AJ that was why AJ actually delayed his next fight until December. I thought it was maybe they were just trying to bring up stories, and right now I think a lot of news, I think the true side of it is actually coming out, and I believe that is why AJ delayed his, like he said, until December before he was going to fight his next fight. But if this fight actually comes up, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a beautiful one. It's going to be something that boxing for a very long time is going to leave a lasting feeling in the world of boxing, because these guys are not just when it comes to the heavyweight class in boxing, these are the four people, these are the four fighters you can mention right now. No matter how we look at it, that AJ has lost 3 fights, but he's still in that class by beating Franklin, I think few weeks ago. So if it comes up, I think I even want to see the fight. I actually want to see the fight. I want to see Deontay Wilder and AJ doing that battle. Then the Gypsy King coming up against Alexander Usyk, and it's going to be bloody. When I mean bloody, these guys are pound for pound boxers. So it should just come up for AJ. He should accept this offer.
He should accept the offer, but the reason why I'm afraid the fact that I know, yes, he's actually ready, but I look at Deontay Wilder's wildness. You know, it seems it's like a personal beef against AJ. I really want to beat down this Briton. I want to deal with him. You see this? You look at Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying AJ cannot defeat him, but this fight.
AJ is a calm person. It's not like Wilder that talks too much.
Wilder is a very rugged, brutal. But I give kudos to Tyson Fury, who has actually silenced him. 3 times they met, once draw, twice he defeated him to silence him. But he has been on AJ as if, okay, I agree, Fury beats me, I agree. But you, I mean,
and that's why I feel AJ should take the fight,
just to tell him, point.
Hey guy, I have been trying to avoid you, but you've always wanted me. Now let's go for this, and I'm ready for you.
Once and for all.
Let's just go in, because it's going to be, if he wins, and maybe Gypsy Kings gets to beat Usyk will have to fight him again. And Gypsy King wait for them, because Deontay is out of it. So he needs to beat Deontay to go back into the top 3, where Usyk is still ranking 1 because he has 3 belts on his in his cadre. Gypsy King, Tyson Fury has 1. So he needs to beat Wilder and silence him. Hey guy, I'm not your mate, which I believe is possible he could do. He just needs to take his camp. Hey, Tyson Fury didn't struggle in that bout. He knew what he was going to do. Give him a knock where he would not come up. And that was when it's, I watched that clip that day. I still have the Yoruba version of the guy watching from his home, and they said, oh, that quoting
But so, seriously, seriously, I look at this fight, AJ Wilder seems to be, it's going to be a wild fight.
It's going to be a wild fight.
AJ is a calm fighter. He's not someone that actually, this guy will rush. AJ doesn't.
You mentioned that.
AJ doesn't like.
I think for Deontay Wilder, he has a personal beef with Anthony Joshua. And you don't take, when it comes to sport, you don't take your personal beef or your anger, and before you know it, you get the shock out of your life. And if Wilder actually goes with that mindset, I tell you, he's going to receive the beating of his life.
Well, we've been talking concerning this particular fight, boxing there. Well, the bodies in AJ's called Deontay Wilder's camp actually said this, and we are hoping that AJ will prove them wrong by taking up this fight. That'll be coming up in December. If everything goes well and AJ is able to win against Deontay Wilder, that will be a big one, because I don't want to call it bully, but it has become a kind of bully fight from the camp of Deontay Wilder, trying to see how they can get AJ to get this particular fight on. And for Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, another big one coming there. Who will win this particular one? Well, a big one. Quickly, let's move away from there as we talk about UEFA Champions League. Games will be coming up tonight. In those games, let's look at the fixtures quickly. Well, Bayern Munich against Manchester City, who are leading first leg 3-0. You have Inter Milan against Benfica. They are also leading 2-0. Well, Inter are leading there. Well, right now, that's the first leg now. Now, let's look at the probables now, the possible lineup for Bayern Munich against Man City. As we look at all the teams, Jan Sommer could be there at the goal post. You have Cancelo, Benjamin Pavard, Matis Delaney. You have Alfonso Davies, Kimmich, Goretzka, Yamal Musiala, Leroy Sané, you have Kingsley Coman, and you have Serge Gnabry. Yes, we know that our Senegalese brother is on suspension right now. But from the way it is, let's look at Manchester City. Yes, let's look at City's possible lineup also. 3-2-4-1. Theirs could be Ederson at the goal post, Nathan Ake, you have Ruben Dias, you have Emmanuel Akanji, John Stones, Rodri, Grealish, Gundogan. You have Kevin De Bruyne, and you have Bernardo Silva there from the wings, and you have Erling Haaland, the robotic striker, at the front. Let's look at this side by side.
Side by side experience, give it to Man City. I don't know how Tuchel wants to go tonight. It's going to be so hard to score 3 goals against Manchester City. It's possible in the game of football. Bayern has done 8 against Barcelona at that Allianz Arena, but 3 goals up for Man City in the first leg. Haaland will play. There will be that bite. Somewhere, a magic will just come. If he does not score, someone will score. So you can't take it away completely for this game. It's a battle that will go down. One team must progress. But at the advantage now, give it to Man City. They are not a team I see that will concede 3 at a rush.
What about Emmanuel?
Well, if you also look at that lineup, if you take a look at it, I think Pep Guardiola is not sitting deep. He's an attacking-minded coach by playing 4 strike, as in 4-1-4-2-3, and that's to tell you the midfield is already compacted with Rodri and John Stone. John Stone and Rodri will sit deep, and then the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Nicky Gundogan will be supplying the passes, and then the 2 guys from the flank. So I think they are going all out for goals. Well, but also Bayern Munich, you will not. The only weakness I see in Bayern team is Leroy Sané. He has not been himself for over some time now, and it was that same issue that happened between him and our own African brother Mani that led to the fight and whatever. But overall, for Bayern, they have done it in the past. Football is just a surprising game. At the end of the day, we've seen teams Barcelona upturn 4 goals, and they at the end of the day they won the game. So 3 goals can be cancelled. But will Man City allow that to happen? And it's not left to be seen. But I see a lot of goals from both sides. Bayern will not just sit. They are going to score goals. They might get maybe 2-1 or 3-2.
Well, we've been talking concerning Bayern, Man City, a tough battle there at the Allianz Arena. Let's go to the San Siro, the one they call Giuseppe Meazza, where Inter Milan will be at home against Benfica. First leg 2-0 in favor of the Nerazzurris. Right now, they'll be facing Benfica. Would they be able to do it and add more woes to the wounds already that they are not? So talking about Benfica, quickly look at the probables now. Let's look at the list of players that will be playing for Inter Milan. At the goal post, Andre Onana, Matteo Damian, Francesco Acerbi, you have Bastoni, Dumfries, Barella, Nicolo, Marcelo Brozovic, Henry Mkhitaryan, Federico Di Marco is there, Lautaro Martinez, I have Edin Dzeko. Those those are the lists there. Looking at this particular Inter Milan, 3-5-2.
5-3-2, if you want to say, because they Dumfries and DeMarco will go in. But a man, I want to celebrate DeMarco on the show today. He was a killer in that last game. He just tried throwing the ball around, and it's done for Inter Milan. I don't think Benfica will come back.
Well, from the way it is, let's look at Benfica too. Hopefully, let's see what they be having concerning their own lineup. Can they do it against Inter Milan? Quickly, we have Goncalo Ramos there at the top. Odysseus Vlachodimos, Dimos rather, as a goalkeeper. Alex Grimaldo, Silva, Luis. All of them are battle ready for this fight. Chibato, Chiquinho, Otamendi is there with his experience. Can they hold it 4-2-3-1? But before we go, let me just add summarily, just one word. Inter Benfica.
Inter.
Man City Bayern.
Hard one. Bayern.
Bayern. So you go for Bayern, you go for Inter. Now if I have to reverse this, Man City Bayern.
Man City will go through.
You go for Bayern. Well, anyway, before we go, let me just give you two stories of a transfer there. Harry Kane is PSG top attacking target this summer. They are where PSG want to make sure to get the English player. And then Steven Gerrard is on the short list to be head coach at Olympiacos. Well, they've actually listed a lot of coaches, but Gerrard is among them. Let's see what happens concerning that. In the studio has been a wonderful word, Emmanuel Fashemi, and also Busayo Olowookere. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Adeni Jishafe. Thanks for watching.